Star Wars only, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
The Star Wars Holy Grail has just been found, and guys, you need to watch this before it gets taken down or whatever happens to it, because this may be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. There's something called The Lost Empire Strikes Back documentary by Michael Parbet, and that is a French guy, I believe I'm saying his last name right, and he made a documentary on the Star Wars Episode 5 Empire Strikes Back movie, and he made this documentary, and it's been lost to the ages. I think it was televised once, and ever since then, I know we haven't been able to find it for a very long time. There's a lot of history that goes behind some of this stuff, and it's very hard to find. And this is one of the few moments where the internet is actually great. So please check it out, because you might not be able to see this ever again. We've been looking for this film for years. A lot of the original trilogy fans have been looking on this film for years as a documentary, but it's still film, and what I would call film. And, we have a lot of documentaries on, like, episodes 1 through 3 that came out from Star Wars itself. And then you have other documentaries by other, companies and whatnot, like AMC or ABC or something like that. All these different channels and networks do documentaries on Star Wars. We didn't get to see this one on The Empire Strikes Back when it was filming and everything. And watching it, it's truly a blessing. Gary Kurtz, he is a legendary producer in Star Wars. Sadly, actually passed away a few days ago, and so may the Force be with him and his family. He's in this, and he's very heavily involved in this. They talk a lot about Star Wars, and I love Irvin Kershner, I believe is how you say his name. He's the director for The Empire Strikes Back, the best Star Wars director of all time. He summarizes a lot of what I love about this movie, and he even says in the documentary itself, he says, Star Wars isn't sci-fi. A lot of people say Star Wars is sci-fi. He's like, Star Wars is a fairy tale, and I like it. And he talks about how just a lot of work that's going into it in his thought process and how he does a lot of the directing in it, and I love it. I absolutely love this documentary. It is exactly what Star Wars fans need. It's surprising because, not surprising I'm not going to try to say people like me, but people who know a lot about what went on behind the scenes with this movie, is George Lucas is not involved at all. I mean, they talk about him, from what I remember, once, and that's about calling him and showing him ideas and everything and being like, do you like this or not? And him being like, yeah, I like that, or something like that, and him talking about it with them. Because during this time, George was dealing with the business aspect of Star Wars, and he left it to his, I believe his college professor. That's what I've been told from some people. I'm not entirely sure if it's accurate, that Irvin was his college professor at a time, or his instructor or whatever, and he brought him up to direct the movie while George directed on the business aspect of things, and he made a great call. I know for one, George isn't a big fan of directing movies in general, especially big blockbusters like Star Wars, and he for sure doesn't like working with actors, and he said a lot of the stuff back in the day, I'm pretty sure changed by, nowadays, 2018, but still, he wanted Irvin to direct this, and he directed it, and it was phenomenal, and we have a documentary on it now. We have a long-lost documentary on it, something we've been waiting for years. There was documentaries on this back in the day, of course, and there's documentaries on episodes 4 and 6, and now we have this lost one for episode 5. But if you look at the documentaries that come out with episode 6, or not bad, 7, 8, and possibly 9, and even Rogue One and Solo, I don't know if we're going to get it with Solo. I'm pretty sure since the film's already come out, you don't. But with Rogue One, The Last Jedi, and The Force Awakens, everything seems kind of glossy. Everything seems to go really well, and just kind of doesn't, I don't know. You look at episode 1, you can see kind of the realism of it, the confusion that's going on with some of the people hearing what George's got to say and everything, and kind of the struggle they had with certain things. And you especially saw that with the original Star Wars documentaries. But Empire Strikes Back has been rare because you don't have a lot of them. And so for a lot of Star Wars fans, it's the Holy Grail. And it's something we've been waiting for a very long time. A lot of the original trilogy fans are the ones that have been waiting for this. I'm a big original trilogy fanboy myself. I love movies like, The Fanboys, which is a Star Wars movie. Another Star Wars inspired movie is The People vs. George Lucas. That's a very big original trilogy fanboy kind of thing. And so this is perfect for me. And this is something I'm really glad has finally came out to fruition. I remember reading about this as a kid, in middle school and whatnot, but I never thought it was a big deal. And I watched it, I was like, wow, that was actually really good. So I highly recommend you guys checking this out. I'll leave the link below. I'm actually going to download this to my computer just in case it gets taken down and we never get to see it again. It'll be one of those very rare things in Star Wars where only the true and die-hard fans, I mean, like, if you know about this documentary, if you've heard about it before and you watch it, you can say you're one of the realest Star Wars fans out there. Because this is like ancient. This is original Star Wars trilogy stuff. Not the books, not the comics, not the video games, none of that stuff. Like the movies, and the best movie of all the Star Wars films, and arguably one of the best movies of all time. So yeah, I think this is very, very good stuff right here, and it's gold. It's the Holy Grail for Star Wars fans, and I think you need to check it out. So Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the documentary. Come back and tell me what your thoughts about it are. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys do as well. I'm Star Wars Only. I'll see y'all next time. May the Force be with you always.